What's going on? What's going on? What's going
up,
on?
everybody?
Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday. That means it is Brother Empowerment time.
Brother Empowerment Day.
So if this is your first time actually watching Brother Empowerment, the whole purpose of this is to help our brothers to break through without breaking.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to have a whole bunch of conversations, but everything is about empowerment. Nothing is about belittling. Nothing is about knocking someone. Everything is about uplifting our brothers and making sure they have what they need.
Yep.
So before we get into it, bro, how was your week?
So, this week has been so happy emotionally. I have been having all kinds of conversations with folks all week about just these really heavy topics. And now it's been good because, putting some concerns and some fears to rest. But really, it's just been really heavy. And so this whole weekend is going to be dedicated to sleep for the most part. I'm still going to do my normals as far as, my time with my family and stuff like that. But I'm still definitely going to be going to sleep. I'm going to get at least 10 hours Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for sure.
The funny thing is, I don't believe you're going to sleep.
I'm going to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep.
I don't believe that there is going to be any sleep for some strange reason. I don't care what you say.
Well, it's going to happen. Me and my bed are going to be quite acquainted over the course of this weekend. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm gonna check on you on Saturday and see how that's going. But yeah, for me, man, I will say that it's actually been the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I really have. This week has been emotionally straining, but also very beneficial. It's been very empowering. It's been actually a great one because on Sunday we actually finished our implicit bias workshop.
That's correct.
For those who wanted, we were approached, Love is a Parable, to partner with two other people, activist Garrett Rasick and local historian / actress, theater person, production person, Angie Staley, and we came up with an implicit bias workshop that was actually led by me, and that was our first time meeting a whole bunch of new people, getting acquainted with a whole bunch of new friends, and we actually talked about implicit bias. And for those who don't know, that is the same as unconscious bias, and it was a great opportunity for us to engage and have a healthy conversation about it. I think what was draining for me even about that is, we talk about this a lot. Sometimes being a Black person, being an African American person, being a person of color, explaining what that is to those who are not is a struggle within itself.
Yep.
And so because it's a struggle within itself, sometimes it's hard to kind of rehashing things that you thought either you dealt with or buried, but also explaining it in a way where it's effective, but also in a way where that they know that the anger isn't towards them because they're there because they're trying to learn, but at the same time trying to find that balance. And then explaining like different things that are going on at the same time. So that was quite interesting, and I was glad that I got through it because it also helped me get a better understanding of the things that I was knowledgeable of, or the things I was confident with talking about or comfortable talking about, and some of the things that I wasn't. It was a great opportunity also to see Tara in a different light. It was her opportunity to actually help me instruct two of the sessions. So she helped me out on Friday, and then she came back on Sunday, and she did a phenomenal job.
So that's my sis.
And look, we got somebody on. Do y'all know who we got on? Our special guest just made it.
Hey, hello there.
Look, what's going on? Look, now we gotta find the right one. There we go.
Well,
hello, everyone.
Hello. For y'all that don't know who are on with us, this is my mother, Jackie. She has so graciously shared some of her time with us. This is normally the time that she's winding down from her super long day of work, but she chose to be a special guest on the show today. So definitely appreciate you. Mom, please tell the people about yourself.
Oh my goodness. Cordell's
We're gonna blow it up.
What'd you say?
Don't miss anything because we're gonna blow it up. Whatever you miss, we're gonna exaggerate it even more.
Tell the people about it.
You said what?
Tell
So I am Cordell's mom. I'm a Navy nurse. I've been in the Navy for about 35 years. I don't know when I'm coming out. I know that I'm going to be moving closer to home, so hopefully I'll be able to engage in more of the activities here. Yes. What else do I need to know? I'm a nurse.
Tell me your official title. Don't say Navy.
Yeah.
Your official title.
Come on.
You got the white coat. What's your official title?
Say it with your chest.
Wow. I am an adult health clinical nurse specialist, a commander in the United States Navy, and I work at Fort Belvoir Community Hospital here in Alexandria, Virginia. I've been all over the world. I've only been a nurse though for about 21 years. The rest of my time I spent in an administrative capacity, and I don't know when I'm going to be done with the Navy. Whenever they tell me I have to go home, I guess.
So you act like you wasn't just featured in the magazines all over the globe. Your whole face on there. Whole face.
Yeah, I guess we've been doing a lot of work with, like all the other civilian facilities. We've been doing a lot of work with the COVID pandemic that's going on right now. And so we've had quite a few cover stories, if you will, that we've highlighted for our military organizations. And I was featured on the cover of what we call our shift report. And so they did a feature in my hospital on the ward that we use for our COVID patients. And I was on there. I'm actually the deputy director for all of the nurses at my facility, as well as the chief ambulatory care nursing officer as well. So that's a little bit about me.
So basically, I got that you credentialed, you handling it.
Yeah.
You can beat us up and nurse us back to health all at the same time.
Well, I'm not the violent type, so if you get me,
I ain't a killer, but don't push me. But you got a lot of people that's showing you some love. You want to see all the people that's down there?
Yeah, so we got Lou is on. Hey Lou, we got Chanel. We got Nichelle. Hey Shell. We got Gail Daniels. Hey Gail. Hey. We got Miss Joy. We got Tara. Tara's on. We have Rodney Nutter. What's up, Rodney? Went to high school together. Kim Rawls is on.
Hey.
Elijah is on, of course. Your wife Sis is on. Sarah Larson is on. Barbara Aaron Cornelius is on, and now my cousin Slap is on too. So. What's up, everybody? So, yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you all. And I do echo what one of the viewers said, Mom. Thank you for your service and thank you for what you're doing to keep us safe.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. It's so funny. Cordell made all these calls and made sure that I was on in a timely manner. Then I got the link, and then of course I didn't have what was needed to activate the link, because I'm on my computer all day at work, and I'm so not on my computer all day when I get home. But we got it, Cordell, and I'm here.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so very glad. So Cassandra is here too. Hey Q. So
yes, I see all the names. Look, I figured out to go over here to the live comments, so now I can see everybody.
Come on now, she moved fast with it.
Quick study. There we go.
She's like, don't play with me. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You don't watch the show several times, so you know this is the part where we get into a discussion based off of what the viewers tell us. You ready? Don't hold back.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Unfiltered.
I'm ready.
Okay now.
Okay.
So how
Marcus is my brother. I'm ready for anything.
Marcus.
Okay, so how some Blacks will be celebrating Juneteenth this year. So we got some ideas. If if we still on lockdown?
Well, I mean, regardless of what we're doing, we're going to be. I know there's going to be quite a few people that are going to be, barbecuing or doing having congregations with their loved ones, because just normally that's something people do anyways. But especially because of stuff that's going on right now, there are going to be quite a few Juneteenth celebrations because of the visibility that it has right now. It's gotten probably the most visibility that I've ever seen it get in this period up to this point right now.
What you got, Mom?
No, I was just going to say, we usually, some of the organizations that I belong to, one of the organizations that I belong to is a military affiliated organization. We usually do celebrate Juneteenth every year. We do a big cookout. We invite people. We, have a lot of folks from the community come out to celebrate. But I haven't seen much traffic this year. Of course, the military folks we're on restrictions, so we can't go outside of a 100-mile radius without special permission. So it really limits. And even though some of the stay-at-home orders and things like that are starting to be lifted, we're still, there's still more restrictions in place for us in terms of our movement. Even with our, even with order movement and things like that, people going to new duty stations, that's getting, as we say, pushed to the right. So people are being delayed in that regard too, because we're continuing to see spikes with the new spikes with the COVID in the States. So it's really going to impact.
So for those who don't know, Juneteenth is actually known as something that what was also known as Freedom Day or Jubilee Day, Celebration Day. It is an American holiday celebrated on June 19th because of June 19th, 1865. The Emancipation Proclamation, which had been issued in January of 1863 in the United States, read that enslaved Americans would be free, but all of us wasn't free until later on, June 19th, 1865 in Texas. So what we do is actually celebrate when all of our brothers and sisters became free at the same time. And we also know it as the Black 4th of July, because it is a day when all of us became free, even our last brothers and sisters down there in Texas. It definitely became probably, I know somebody posted is that June is becoming more Black History Month than Black History Month, because June is also Black Music Month.
Yeah.
And so it's just seems like it's the perfect time also to be free, because you want to hear your music and you want to hear your freedom all at the same time. Be like, let me dance my way on out of these shackles. So it is definitely becoming, June is becoming one of my favorite months, because both of my girls are born in June. June 15th and June 22nd. Then we can teach them about June 19th. And then we can teach them about Black music. Yeah, so June is really turning into a dope time of the year.
And I mean,
in summer too.
It's number 6, so in the year, so it's an even number of months. So I'm with it anyways.
You with it because it's summertime.
That very much too.
Exactly.
And we're 2 months away from the greatest month of the year, so it's just amazing. Yeah,
it's actually the month that my wife and I got married. It'll be our 12th year anniversary in August. You're right. You weren't really going for that, were you?
I mean, that's one thing on top of everything else that's great about that month.
He was like, "Yeah, I totally wasn't going for that one."
Hella comments.
So if we got something that, you know what, we be doing some big stuff now, y'all. We be getting announcements in the middle of stuff. So there's also a second annual Juneteenth celebration. Black women lead voting in the 2000s, basically. So Friday, June 19th, at 6:30 to 8:30 is going to be a virtual event, and I'll share that link in the comments. And Cassandra is actually a part of this event. It's the African American Caucus of the Wake County Democratic Party. So if y'all want to see something different, we're not endorsing Democratic Party or Republican. We got to say that now.
Yep.
No endorsing, but it is a good opportunity for us to get a better understanding and celebrate Juneteenth a little different too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got a lot of comments. So let's see. So Michelle says she celebrates every year. She said their grandmother taught them when they were very young. That's really dope.
That's dope.
Yeah. Chanel says she's going to the beach with her cousins and she's going to pay some type of homage to the black bodies the saltwater has taken. Oh, wow. Okay. So we got Marcella's on too. Hey, Marcella.
Hey, Marcella.
And then Chanel also said, new tradition. I shall never work another Juneteenth. So I feel that. So Wally's on. What's up, Wally? Tara said, I hope everyone makes Juneteenth an actual celebration or day of rest. We can get back to the fight the day after. Don't let the purpose be lost. Deshaun said, what's up, Deshaun? He said, I'll still practice social distancing, but definitely taking the day off, spending the day gardening and educating myself. Awesome. That's what's up, man. Robert Walker's on. What's up, Robert? Michelle said, we're on his even numbers. Don't do
you
that.
Forgot that you have to read that way.
Oh, excuse me, I'm bad.
I know, right?
So Uncle Marcus is on. What's up, Uncle Marcus?
You done took it over. I'm like, we ain't got to read no more.
And people who are, can y'all not crack at me when my mom is on? Can y'all say that to next week?
No. Can y'all treat him like we normally do? Please.
Yes, I exactly. I think it's interesting. I didn't know about Juneteenth, and actually until I joined, while I learned about it while I was in the military. I never really learned about it, and then I joined a military affiliation group, and Juneteenth was huge for them. So when we can celebrate it, it's a big event for us.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Uncle's on, Unique is on. Hey, Unique. So yeah, but yeah, I definitely plan on celebrating, especially it's on a Friday. It's going to be amazing. So I know there's probably going to be a couple of events that are going to happen around the area. So hopefully the restaurants are opening back up and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit more lax than it would be if we were in, phase one or just beginning. So
yeah, and to be honest, I learned about Juneteenth from HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the thing, though. This is why I always tell people, not only do you receive a quality education at HBCUs, you learn things about African-American history that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember going on the campus the very first time at my HBCU, and they were like, what is your name?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna say my government. He was like, no, what is your name? I was like, what are you talking about? So I was like, what is your name? And so I finally said my whole name.
Mm-hmm.
And it took about a good 10 minutes. These people are persistent. And it was like, your name is just not your name. It's everybody that you represent. You coming from a whole line. So you got to be able to succeed because you're not just representing you. He said, Blacks don't have the luxury of being individuals. You're representing all the people who couldn't go to school.
Oh, wow.
And that changed my life. That's why I ended up getting 2 minors. Look, 2 minors and graduating in 4 years. Because it's very true. And there's so many things that you learn about race relations and also survival in addition to just your education.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a great science teacher. She was like, this is that's in this book because you're going to have to learn it because that's what they're going to test you on. Everybody need to know it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she brought another book to my this is what really happened.
Yeah.
And showed all the Black inventors who didn't receive credit, all of that different information. And you like, wow. So there is so much that an HBCU provides outside of just education.
Right. Yeah.
And we ain't gonna talk about, Greek life, and we ain't gonna talk about all the parties and all of that. That's why HBCUs are necessary, because I don't have a problem with integration.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. But for some strange reason in America, integration means to assimilate to what is accepted by white America, and they usually get rid of anything that's Black.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've lost a lot of historic schools and things like that. And that's why I don't want us to lose historic Black colleges and universities, because a lot of our history is there.
Right.
When you can't find things in the library, you can go to a HBCU and find things that are not in the standard library, and we need that.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Absolutely.
We got
You got it right there. There you go.
I'm saying we got Devontae Ragland's on, but we can block him. So
we can block him. Don't even try it. Hey, boo.
All right, show's over. So
I'm gonna leave it at that for a second, just to annoy you. And Chanel did make a good comment. She said that whites, you can celebrate Juneteenth with us.
Mhm.
Just because it's our celebration, just like we celebrate 4th of July, we can celebrate Juneteenth together. Just put mustard in the potato salad. Kim said, HBCU, which one did you go to? I went to the wonderful Benedict College in the heart of South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina to be exact, where it sits at 1600 Harding Street.
Listen to him.
Oh,
Hold the green and gold, baby, Norfolk State.
You said what, Mom?
Behold the green and gold, Norfolk State.
Oh, you didn't go, huh?
I did not. I went to a whole bunch of different universities, but I didn't go to.
You didn't go. You'll be just like higher learning. The old freshman.
Wow.
Every HBCU got an old freshman. I don't care what you say.
Okay.
True man of the world, Cordell.
What's that, Mom?
You're a true man of the world.
Yes, that I am. I have to thank you for, because without that, I don't think I'd be the person I am today. We can just block Devontae Ragland again, because he's just providing nothing to his conversation.
I love you, Keon.
I'm blocking him on my phone right now.
I love that dude, man.
I love that dude too, but not right now, though. I don't love you right now. Anyway, what's the next topic, man?
I can't remember. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I can't see though.
Southern University, human jukebox. Okay.
Mama said, "Hey, Mama Jackie."
Hey, tell us, hey.
Hey, Mama Garnett.
She gonna tell us, say, "Hey, you can tell us." Oh my God.
You know I don't do this all the time. What? Don't laugh at me. I ain't gonna get on here no more.
Yeah, you will, Mom. You love us too much. Yeah, Slap. The whole fam is on here going crazy.
Yes.
That's right. Keon did go to Fayetteville State. Okay, that's right. No, I went to Fayetteville State to visit. I went to homecoming one year. First we got here. And then E went to VSU.
Okay. My wife. Oh goodness. My wife went to South Carolina State.
Mm-hmm.
Down in Orangeburg. If you have not, we talk a lot about Black history too. If you haven't heard about the Orangeburg massacre, you want to check that out too.
Yes, please tell them stop messing with me.
No, it's messing with me, Mama Garnett. Anyway, next topic, sir.
Well, since my mom is on, anybody, I want y'all to send positive thoughts and prayers. Mom is going in for a light surgery tomorrow.
Yes, we are sending all of our well wishes with you.
Yep. That's my baby. So y'all just send some positive thoughts, some good vibes her way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell her relax, take it easy. It's gonna be fine.
Yes.
Yep.
Work out just fine.
Absolutely.
Look, somebody said, "Hey, Cordell," just
Hey,
to you.
me.
There you go.
Hey, just to him.
I know.
Nobody
Right?
else is here. Hey, Mama Jackie, how you doing? Oh, there she said.
Hey.
Well, hey, you meet. Golly. Okay, so the next one is, we just opened the second one.
Yeah.
Do these companies truly care? If so, why wasn't this stuff already in place? Okay.
I don't think anybody really ever really, it's almost like if it's not being highlighted, if nobody's talking about it, then they don't feel like they need to do anything about it. But now it's in their face, and it's such a big movement going on. How can you ignore it? But some people just don't do what you don't, what they're not held accountable for. So if you, what you don't correct, you condone. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I say?
No, I do think too. As I've told Jay, I've talked to Jay and a couple other people about this a few times. Right now, businesses and also non-Black folks, they see that there has never been in the history of history unified and coordinated protest on this massive of scale.
mm-hmm.
And there may be some other things, the rioting, the looting stuff, but there has never been outrage of this level ever in history. And the internet and social media is to thank for a lot of visibility. And so, as I've told other people as well as Jay, there's a tidal wave coming that people can see it. They can see it coming from a mile away, but it's one of those things that you can't escape. And you either get a life raft or you sink in it. Mm-hmm. And companies now want a life raft.
What do they want? They want your money.
Right, exactly. And that's what I mean. They want the life raft. They don't want to sink, because there's quite a few companies who depend on the Black community's spending power and our dollar. So those companies want a life raft. They don't want to sink. And so they know if they're not on the right side, the tidal wave will run them over and they'll sink. They're not going to be able to swim in this without help.
After teaching the implicit bias workshop, I will only say this. Let's not make a collective assumption, because there are some whites who are clueless. And I know some of us who've been around who will say, like, how is it possible they're clueless? Like, there's some people, light bulbs that went off. Like, there is a sign that's out there. When they heard George Floyd call for his mama, all mamas rose. So that is something different. It is something different. It's also, you never know what will wake some people up.
Right.
And one of the things that I have to always be mindful of too, when I had my cushy position, I came out of school, I always had nice jobs. Matter of fact, I used to walk off one job and get another job the same day, because that's just how things were. I really thought that we progressed as not only people, but I was thinking that racism as a whole was going to the side. But then I had a reality check as a Black person later on in life. I was in my 30s when I was like, oh, we really ain't progressed at all. So even me as a Black man, I had to say, like, dog, it was a huge eye opener for me to realize that people wasn't caring about me, Jay, the Black guy. They were just respecting Jay, the executive director. And so that's a harsh reality for me as a Black person, and then trying to adapt and readjust when your whole world looks different. And so naturally, there are some other people who thought that we were more advanced. There were people in the class who said they never understood Black Lives Matter until it was said white people are fighting for a better quality of life, and Black people are just fighting for their life.
Right.
That was an eye-opener for them. And there are some people who are really trying to understand, and there are some people who are really allying behind it. So I want us to not just assume everything at once. Now, yes, there are some people that ain't gonna change, that's just looking out for your money, that's all that. We get that. But we can't assume every person that's trying to ally with you is really coming with ulterior motives other than to help. There are several people that are doing, and it's funny how media does things too. There have been several white-only marches for Black Lives Matter that got absolutely no media coverage. Why? Because they want to display it like it's just Blacks fighting and we're in an uproar and we're rioting and looting and all of that stuff. No, they don't. So be careful of the things that you allow people to tell you, and be careful of the whites that are really trying to support and trying to get an understanding. And it doesn't matter the age group, because we have people that's 60 years old and younger who are all saying, like, oh, I didn't realize that. And that's, you got to think, if we're talking about white privilege, we're talking about the luxury of not having to think about certain things. And this could have been the first time that they heard all the cries we've been saying for all those years.
Well, and I think too, it speaks to the fact that there may not be, there's a lot of, there's a lot of people that may not have Black people, other people of color in their intimate circle, right? So you go to work and you work alongside Black people and things like that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're socializing with them outside of that workplace. And so that goes also to not being able to identify or understand, and giving you the ability to think from another perspective. It's exactly what you said. They don't have to worry about it. Nobody's checking for them. They're free to go about their day and do what they do, and nobody's really checking for that. And I agree with Elijah. It is about money, and there is a movement coming in terms of where we spend our money, and we need to be intentional with where we put our money. There is some inconvenience behind doing things intentionally with your money because we're used to operating a certain way, and we have to decide whether we want to support the movement, whether we want to be intentional with our money and where we're going to put it, and move in that direction that we know we need to move in. So the Buy Black movement is a good movement, and we definitely need to do that. But we need to be checking and making sure that wherever we put our money, that they're aligned with what we need.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, most definitely.
Are they supporting us on that level?
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a movement. It should be a lifestyle.
Right, exactly. So
it shouldn't have taken this for us to patronize Black businesses to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had. You want to read the question? It's up here though. Most of them agreed.
Yeah.
Chanel said that her job put out an email, and they even got on someone who did something that wasn't nice on social media. Is that what it's saying? Derogatory. Yep. They don't condone that behavior, and she received messages as personal allies. We got Roderick on.
What's up, Roderick?
Michelle said some companies haven't said a word.
Right.
And then Felicia said, do you think desegregation was a good thing? What if desegregation is the very reason the Black dollars spend in these white-owned businesses so rapidly? They have been getting rich off of Blacks but many are racist, and they don't speak out on racism. What if Blacks remain business owners, catering to each other, even sharecropping? Well, sharecropping is a form of slavery. It's basically they're tilling somebody else's land, but giving majority of the proceeds from the harvest to the landowner, which was most Blacks. That's why it's really called sharecropping. The Black did all of the work. But I think that integration, when you talk about racism, you got to think that it's systemic, systematic, amorphic, and individual. So when we talk about racism, nobody is just fighting one arm. We're fighting multiple things. So if you talk about conditioning, something that is so ingrained, it has been ingrained for years that if it's white, it's right. So when we talked about separate but equal, there was no equality there. It was a clear distinction that what was white was better. So a lot of Blacks did leave their schools because they wanted to go to those white schools who had the running water fountain inside and things like that. So years it has been conditioned that white people give better opportunities, white people have this, white people have that. So it was actually taught. Everything that is taught is not always verbal. It was a habitual type of teaching where they learned, and then it became some type of somatic instinct to go to whatever is white, to gravitate to whatever is white. So you're talking about years and years of reprogramming that several people had to deal with. So a lot of people to this day feel like if it's white is right, and if a white person endorses a Black organization, all of a sudden that makes that organization different. You know, because it was so funny. I had so many people. Remember when we started this, it was so many people, Mama Jack. It was like, oh, so all y'all gonna do is just talk about love? That's crazy. But we've been talking about implicit bias since we started the curriculum.
Yeah.
So when we were approached, all we did was take a part of our curriculum and made it a workshop.
Right.
But then when the white people endorse it, it's like we did a new thing. No, it's an old thing, same thing.
Yep, same thing.
We didn't even change up on nobody.
Right. And I think you're right in terms that you know, it's learned behaviors, right? We're taught that we definitely are taught that, and we're taught that the products, the service, the things that we offer are somehow not as good as what they have to offer, and we have to unlearn that. The question on desegregation is a hard one, right? It is because the goal of segregation, you know, them sort of not wanting integration and things like that is really about you know, trying to keep us separate but equal. But we know that separate is not equal, right?
Right.
And so we have HBCUs and things like that because that's what we needed, because we wouldn't get anything if it wasn't for HBCUs and things of that nature. So to stay segregated and separated, you know, there's value, and definitely HBCUs, I think, have demonstrated the value in having your own people teach you and socialize you and give you that culture, give you that confidence, teach you how to operate in the world as Black men and women. And I think that's valuable. But the biggest thing about integration is, you know, when you talk about true integration, you're talking about an integration of power, of resources, of responsibility. And that's where they don't integrate us, truly integrate us. And that's where the rub is when we accomplish those things and get those things for ourselves. That's when you see the concerted effort to attack, to minimize, to destroy, right? Because that's where the real crux of everything is a equal sharing in those things: power, resources, and responsibility.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's not talked about either. Is, you know, when it comes to segregation and all integration and all that, people talk about that, you know, about it being a purely a choice. And there are some people in the community who definitely bought in because of what Jay was talking about earlier. But the other part of that is that some of that was going to, I feel that it was in inevitability anyways, because in this country, when white people want something, they either find a way to get it, or they just outright take it. So integration was about resources, our resources and our labor. And I think that if we had resisted it for a long period of time, it was going to be something that was going to be forced. So I think that it was something that people bought into, because I think some of the people were bought into it because they were afraid, because they know the other side of those kind of that kind of not negotiation, but that kind of interaction in this country.
I think that's so tough, because
it's a loaded question for sure.
I think it's tough only because, I mean, when you really start thinking about it, it's like laws that are in place were never for the white American. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry, white American man. Yeah. If we just 100% honest, it was for everybody else, even the white boy. Yeah. Like, no, y'all can't do any of these. Laws were made to restrict, and laws weren't created to give freedom. Right. So anytime we try to manipulate something that already had a distorted slant, it's always going to be like not in our favor, no matter which way we do it. Right. Yeah. So it's almost like, can we just get a do-over with the Constitution? Yeah. Can we just start over? Because it's like, it is one of those catch-22 type situations, because you got to have a law to have a law just for me to be human. Yeah. And nobody sees anything wrong with that whole structure. Yep. Man, come on. Can we get a do-over? I mean, instead of putting in law, I just want a do-over. Can we get that's what I vote for. Just a constitutional do-over. And just start over from scratch, because this one ain't working. It's broken. Yeah. Like, I want a refund. Yep.
refund, refurb, everything.
Just start over with this one, and it's just gone. It's just bad, just all bad. You know what I'm saying? I believe that the majority of the companies are only speaking up because of fear of the bottom line.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you do have people out there who want to see real change, who genuinely want to see real change. But again, it goes back to what I initially said. If you're not holding people accountable for their behavior, for their stances, if we aren't holding them accountable for how we're being treated, but we're still spending our money there, they're not going to change if nobody's holding them accountable and saying they don't have to change. So if we're not putting the pressure on them and we're not holding them accountable, of course they're not going to change, and they're going to keep taking our money. They're going to keep taking the money. That's what they're going to do, because it's always about green. At the end of the day, you got black, you got white, but you got green right there in the middle. And at the end of the day, that's what the bottom line is always going to be. It's going to be about green.
And that's why people don't understand the colors of Africa. Black is for the color of our skin, red is for the blood. Green is supposed to be for our land, but in here it's for the money. Lenore said, be intentional where you spend our money. I echo that.
Yep. Yeah. That always brings about the fastest change, right? Whether it's in a good way or a bad way, but you start affecting people's bottom line and their dollars, then you're gonna see somebody shift one way or the other.
Yeah, there is silence is a stance. So
absolutely,
even for the folks who will say they didn't know or whatnot, I have a hard time really buying that. No pun intended. I have a hard time really buying that because we're in the age of information and it's 2020. So there are definitely one-offs where some people they just for whatever reason don't know. But silence is a stance. So even if you know, but you chose not to say anything, like my mom said, you are making a decision there. Silence is enforcement.
I guess because I've seen both sides now. And when I say that, because sometimes you can be, silence can also decide whether you live or not.
Right.
Because there's, like, I'm taking white people out of this for a minute. There's several black people who don't say things because there's a fear for their life. There's several black people that won't say something right now because they probably was like me or in similar positions where they was the only black. And if they say anything, they probably was one of the ones who's finally starting to make some money. And so they probably are looking at this saying, nah, I want to say something, but a lot of people can't deal with that. Me speaking, I almost lost everything. A lot of people can't handle almost losing everything.
Okay.
We face so many economic problems that we didn't even know how we was going to survive. And if I struggle with it, I'm sensitive to that because the next person that speak out, they may not be able to handle that. And so that's what the black people. There are some white people who scared too. Like, I speak out, I'm gonna lose my whole inheritance. So it's like, yes, and then we are in an information age, but if there's people that still don't know basic stuff, I mean, we can't say that we can't assume that people have bad study habits in school. You naturally gonna have bad study habits in life.
But it ain't none of the game that study, Jay. Turn on TV and see what's going on.
But we also technological people though. Like, we will research and we will watch stuff.
But they can turn on TV, Jay.
I respect. I'm just saying, I'm just looking at it differently. Don't fight me, Michael Evans. I'm just trying to just say it's another part. What you about to say, Mom? Because he about to fight me. Please don't.
I think you make decisions based on where you are in that moment, and it's really hard to say. It's really hard for people to do the right thing all the time, based on the situation. When speaking up could cost you your livelihood, and you've got people counting on you for that. You know, it's never just a black and white thing in terms of whether you speak up or not. There are definitely times where you definitely have to speak up, and you make your decision based on what you can live with. I absolutely
Right.
agree with that. You make your decisions based on what you can live with, and I'm a big proponent of that. Whatever decision I have to make about something that I'm struggling with in my life, I'm usually going to err on the side of what can I live with? What can I go to sleep with at night, knowing that I'm going to be okay with it when I wake up in the morning?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because that messed me up. I ain't gonna lie, because even when you knew it was the right thing to do, 6 months later, you like, man, why did I say something? You start second guessing everything. And those who went through it with me, you kind of understand. It was like days you just snotting trying to figure out life.
Yeah.
But it's hard. You gonna read the comment?
So Tara said, these companies are speaking up quick and loud because they've always known that there are real black businesses that can compete with support. They don't want them discovered. I agree with that as well.
Like authors in art.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Definitely agree with that statement.
Superman.
What's up, Kerwin? Superman. So Sean said, just my opinion, but their biggest fear is that we come together as a community and do to them what they've done to us for so many years. I think that's something too. Yeah. Ooh, Felicia said, Jay, I think it's important what you're doing. I remember when you were my professor, I came to you with an issue of a teachers that lacked in teaching the lesson, however, passing students. You challenged me to challenge them to teach as they should, or else the dean would get involved. I did understood it's not about just getting by or getting an A. You told me you're here to learn, and it's a disservice if you don't. You helped me speak out. From them, I held people totally accountable.
There's some more to that.
Oh, yeah. She said, you helped me speak out. From then, I held people totally accountable. You've always fought for the truth and getting what's deserved.
You ain't gonna make me cry on this show. Yeah. That's when I first started teaching. She was in my very first class that I started teaching.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like 24 years old, nervous and scared.
Yeah.
And they like, what a teacher at? I am he. I am he. He is me. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Any more?
No, that's it.
Okay.
My cousin Sean, my son Patrick is on. Excuse me. What's up, Patrick, man? And then Jimmy Tran is on. What's up, Jimmy, man?
Okay. You posted about everyone playing their own role in this. Can you define the steps in alignment? Well, that's very simple. I gotta go through my filter. I was going through my filter. Like right now, a lot of people say that they want to come together, but why we got 500,000 different groups about the same thing?
Yeah.
Why can't those group heads come together and just create one group? Y'all can all be admins together, but we got 50, 11 things. I was added to so many groups in like the last 3 weeks. I'm like, who's saying something? And they're tagging you and all of that, but why can't we just come together there? Why can't we be a collective resource? Right?
Yeah. That's
one way. The other way is there are several people doing some of the things that we're doing. Instead of imitating and copying what somebody else is doing, join with them and connect them.
Yep.
If I like art, it would be foolish of me to open an art studio when I can go to Tara Henry and be like, hey, can I help you in the art studio? Right. She will not turn down help and actually the opportunity to get more money.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that? Yeah. If we're saying that we are about, here's the thing about it. If you do what you do, you never have to switch up.
Right.
We ain't never switched up on what we do. We have been doing the same exact thing since day one.
3 years now?
We ain't got to have multiple websites. We ain't got multiple LLCs. We ain't got multiple nonprofits. We do what we do, and we do what we do well.
Right.
And what we don't do, we partner with those who do.
Bing. Message.
That's how the partnership happened. I have a passion for those who are disenfranchised, marginalized, and who've also been in the court system or the legal system. But Jay doesn't know everything. That's why I partner with Kerwin. He understands the system in and out. He had to talk me through getting the permit. I was like, Kerwin, what does this mean?
Yeah.
What this mean? That's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I partner with him to help him. And anybody that goes through his program that wants Love is a Parable, yes, they can have it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids wanted to do something for kids. I don't know pedagogy. I know andragogy. My wife know pedagogy. I don't know it. So we partner with N.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to fix computers.
Mm-hmm.
So we partner with CG Enterprise. I can't do my taxes. So we got KB3 Consultant.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
We got to stop trying to be the messiah of racism.
Yeah.
We can't do it
Yeah.
by ourselves. The beauty of it is us being a community.
Yep.
That's why I can't wait till Mama Jackie comes. Boy,
Yep. Because she's an expert in her field.
she can have all that.
And she coming together, yeah, she can.
All that.
But coming together does not mean you give up anything. If you're an expert in your field, or you do what you do, as Brother Jay said, then you can do what you do and still be partnered with someone else. You don't lose any shine. Ain't no one trying to lord over you. You can do what you do. You can be a subject matter expert in your field and still be connected to other people in the community, because that's really what it's all about. And if somebody's really trying to just be the head honcho and lord over people, then you know they're not about community. They're about fame and getting recognition. Straight up.
Yeah.
That's how we come together. Coming together is truly coming together.
Right.
Community means what is commonly shared. If we have a collective goal to rise together, bring in your different efforts and just do it.
Right.
You don't have to be the messiah by yourself.
Right.
Everybody trying to be that standalone pillar.
And reinvent the wheel and get credit for it. And that's one thing I want to say too, is people talk about, well, what are you going to do as a community? You know, what we need to do this and do that. There have been people that came before us, generations before, that spent their entire lives figuring out what the Black community could do to better itself and to heal itself. Those people are scholar and dedicated their entire. They have written books upon books upon books. The blueprint is already laid out. We just have to execute. But the blueprint's already there in so many different areas. When it comes to mental health, when it comes to finances, when it comes to agriculture, the blueprint's been laid out by people, like I said, who dedicated their lives and their livelihoods to bettering the community, because they wanted the next generation upon generation to be better and to free themselves. So the blueprint's already there. So people trying to reinvent the wheels and get credit for it, and again, be the messiah, like you're hurting the community because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
And you're distracting them. You're distracting them from getting the service that they need.
Right.
That's like me, Mom Jackie, coming talking about, I'm a nurse and they're dying, coming to me thinking that I'm a convincing nurse, and you right there.
Right.
We are damaging people talking about we helping, and the problem is we don't have to get the shine. I'm an actor. If I want to shine, I can perform on any stage. And I'm a paid actor, so I get paid for what I do if I want to act and get shine.
Yeah.
This is a true mission that we're trying to do. And the people what upsets me more than anything, you want to tick me off? Stop people from getting their healing and their breakthrough. That's the quickest way to tick me off, because now you are part of the disease.
Yeah.
And you need to stop being a distraction from people who are really trying to become better, who are trying to unify, who are trying to do a lot of great things in the community. You are a disease, and it's sickening to watch you hurt innocent people. And guess what? The hurt people, they come right over here to be healed.
Yeah.
They don't understand why we're promoting their business on our platform.
Yeah.
Because I would do a disservice to you if you can't live in your purpose.
Yeah.
My purpose is my purpose. I'm gonna do my purpose with or without you. I don't need you to do my purpose, but I do need you to do your purpose so I can do my purpose. That's my purpose. To do my purpose so you can do your purpose, and we work together. We live purpose, bonding, focus, driven lives. Like Kerwin said, we one unit, one block.
Multiple pieces.
Yeah. Multiple pieces. Everybody got a lane.
Yeah.
Oh. You said you want to know how we met. We'll come back to that one. It's like a long one, but a short one. Everyone isn't made for frontline. Nope.
That's right.
Find ways to support those that are.
Yeah.
Where's your realm of influence? Work that.
Yep.
Start in your house,
Yep.
then progress.
Oh, that last
Ooh,
part.
yeah, that spoke to me. What I always say, you know what? Start in your community. You don't need to be all up here. Start right down here. Start right next door. You don't. There's so many things so many missions that we can start and people that we can help that we see every single day.
Yep.
But we look for things way over there or way up there every day. Start at home. Start right around you.
There would be no time to question a whole bunch of other people if you were doing in your own house, in your own area. You're doing that. You wouldn't have time to ask people, hey man, what you doing over there? Why is that like that? I'm doing this right now. So I'm gonna more about that later. I'm doing this right now over here.
One block, multiple pieces. I like that.
Yep. Well, because that's why Kerwin, he part of the core.
Yeah.
Tara said distractions come in all forms and demographics. Come on now.
Yes, they do.
It's a word.
Yeah.
Partnering with other companies is very important. It builds hold on.
Yeah.
Y'all, my brother was in the hospital with COVID-19 and he out. Yeah. Y'all don't know, man. That's Lenora's husband. That's my brother-in-law, and all that, man. And he was going through down there the COVID-19, and he beating it, he killing it, and getting strong, and then had the audacity to be posting.
Yeah.
Brother, I'm so happy for you, man. I'm so happy, man. They got me. Okay. Partnering with other companies is very important. It builds relationship. It's also marketing.
Yeah.
I like to educate clients on the insurance and financial industry. Please refer any clients.
This is what we need in our communities. We need to understand the economy and how it works, but we need somebody also that can give it to us in a way that it can be digested. You know, one of the things that we do not like to talk about is money. We don't like to talk about our finances. For some reason, those things are close hold. And because we don't talk about it is why we stay struggling. We need to learn how to talk about it. We need to align with people who want to build relationships, not just transactions, relationships.
Yeah.
So that's the key.
Say it again.
Not transactions, relationships.
Yeah.
Yep.
Partner with you for your well-being and not just about getting your money.
Right.
Yep.
We really need to understand money, and we need to understand the insurance and how that can help us build generational wealth.
Yeah.
Because it can.
And I do agree with you about meeting people where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when we fell on hard times after speaking out, the very first thing that a financial planner came to mind, you got a budget. You tell me how you budget 2 houses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 3 cars. My bad, 3 houses, 3 cars, and everything else in between. It's just, I think that people make a lot of assumptions about, the Black people when it comes to finances, and then they don't know how to meet them where they are. Like if I tell you I don't have no money, don't come to me and say, oh, for $3.99 I can give you.
Right.
Then I can tell you got no money.
And we have a lot of those, especially right now.
Oh, I can help you. But if you just make 2 installments of $49.99, I got you.
Or you gotta have a certain amount of assets before I deal with you. Well, how does that help me?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
We have some of those soon as the COVID stuff popped up. Well, if you need financial help, like you said, Jay, for a couple of dollars, man, what, huh? So yeah.
And the funny thing is, some of them be the ones who still owe us money.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Owe somebody else money, so you charge somebody to pay back somebody.
That you owe money to.
Yeah.
And we sitting there looking like, man, you ain't. We already. How you gonna not pay a discounted service? So yeah. Well, Mama, we done made it. Look, we done made it to 9:30. This is what we normally do. Positive brother shout out. So who you gonna shout out?
This is when we what?
We do positive brother shout out. We shout out positive.
Okay. Listen, y'all, y'all gotta warn a sister. I shout out to all. Listen,
Go ahead.
My shout out is to everybody, the brothers, the sisters who are engaged in this movement. This love is a parable. The fact that you open your mind and dedicate your time to be here, to dialogue, to listen, to get this food. For your growth in whatever area that you need it in. I shout that out because it's always, your time is the most valuable thing that you have. Yeah. And when you give it up, even if it's just an hour to spend, in this valuable dialogue, because a lot of times the one thing that we need to do amongst ourselves is communicate and learn how to talk and relate to each other. And it's the thing that we spend the least time doing.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I shout out to all of you. Thank you for inviting me in. I do get on sometimes and listen, but as you know, most of the time I'm just getting home a lot of times, and so but Cordell called me early this week and Jay and said, hey, we want you to come on, and I've enjoyed it. It took me a minute to stop looking at everything and getting used to like being on front. Okay, don't do that. Okay, don't do this. But I'm good now. I can
do it. On this side. They'll be rebuking me. We be flipping screens so much.
It's just that one time I had to acclimate. That one time just kind of just messing with my visual perception of everything. Yeah. So
it does take some time to acclimate because you're not used to seeing yourself on on the screen and knowing that other people can see you too. It's like, okay, wait a minute.
We're definitely, so especially me, Mom, I'm especially happy that you came on, so that you agreed to it, that you came on here and dropped that knowledge and told people about yourself, because I talk about you quite a bit, but I love that people can actually see you, even digitally, but see you in the flesh and know this is the person that is my blueprint for success, for family, for excellence. This is it. This is where it starts for me.
Baby.
That I've grown up seeing is this person, this conglomeration of love, support, and determination, and ambition, and intelligence, and excellence. This is it.
Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah.
So I feel the same about you. I am incredibly proud of you, and you would not realize how much that I talk about you as well, and the work that you and Jay are doing with Love is a Parable. Everybody at work knows. There are people that I know that are following you all now based on my conversations and the things that you all are doing. And so this is much needed. This is, at times can be stressful, but it's needed. Yeah. It's needed. Yeah. I can't wait to engage on a more, in-depth level.
Okay. Now let me do my positive brother shout outs to get over here, because I can be up here all night talking about you, mother. So
what they taking up for you too. Lenore and Lita taking up for you.
Yeah. So I had to catch myself there. I didn't want to start boo-hooing up here, but no. So but no, my positive brother shout out, definitely, of course, I shout out Jay each and every week, because we're up here doing this, and really we don't take breaks. We took a little break over the holiday season because of, my grandmother and my mom's mom passing or not. But normally there's no breaks. This is the mission, is our purpose. So we're up here and we get to it every week, and it don't feel like a job, nothing like that. This is just me up here, my brother, and we just doing what we do. As he said, we're doing what we do, so you can do what you do, and they can do what they do. So I always shout out my brother Jay. Shout out all the brothers on the live: Uncle Marcus, Sean, my cousin Patrick, and Kerwin. Everyone, if I missed you, I apologize. All these brothers on the live who are watching and who are boots on the ground in their community or doing their own support in their way that is most efficient, and all the brothers who are gonna watch this later. And also, special shout out to Harold, like we said before, man. I'm so glad that you are, on your road to recovery. You're doing better. You're up here, contributing to this, man. I'm so glad, brother. So, and I hope, later on not even I hope, later on this year or maybe next year when things get better, we're gonna take a trip, man, see, man, we're gonna all get politics, man, sit down and just reflect, man, for real. So, but that's my Positive Brother shout out.
Yeah, I definitely with Harold. Yeah, man, got me. You got me.
Yeah.
Just because also his wife, she had it too. And anybody who knows, they know that I love Lenore. That's my sister.
Yeah.
You'd have thought that we came from, the same womb, man. And like not being able to help her and not being able to help and do that because you had to be away.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, when you got people like family and you can't do anything, man, that was like a time, man. So Harold, I love you. I'm so glad, man. You're here.
Love you, bro. Sure.
And to be honest, I think what got me even more is that, you had the audacity to live in a world that still reject us. Like he's fighting to live for a quality life, to be respected as life, and we still fighting racism.
Yeah.
We got bigger stuff to fight than sitting here fighting something so ignorant, something so draining like racism. And that's just huge. I want to give a special shout out to the men of the core that's behind Love is a Parable. Of course, Cordell, man, we stay up plenty nights trying to come up with new ways, strategizing, actually thinking about more services to help more people, but also Ian and Kerwin.
Yeah.
Who meet with us, who help us, who are doing all great things in the community. And it's an honor to serve with men who all have their own businesses. And we're coming together still in the name of unity and love. And we have that unified front. And we actually like each other. We actually like being around each other. Like we was meeting and we laughed the whole time, man. Yeah. I couldn't do it, and I never take credit for anything that I do. The success of Love is a Parable is because of those who poured into us individually. Y'all had a chance to see my moray, and y'all had a chance to see Minister Folks last week. Was that the week before? Last week. Those are people that poured into me so I could be that. You see it this week. We got Mama Jackie who poured into us. She done molded this joker, but actually poured into me as well. So every success that we have, man, it's a collaborative effort. So thank you all who come together, who see the vision, who don't lose yourself within the vision, but understand your purpose and what we're doing from a community standpoint. Sean, Elijah, all of you brothers, Roderick, all of y'all, man, just thank you. Thank you for everything that y'all are doing. And like we say every night, if you feel that nobody else in this world loves you, know that there's 3 people right now that do. Reach out to us, connect with us. We here. You guys have a wonderful night.
Build relationships, not transactions.
That is a dope one.
There you go, baby.